So I think it's a really good time for me to show you how I start a mix. I know I have all these videos, but I never got into how I get to the point of getting to working on a mix. Like, what are my first steps? What do I do in the very beginning? Well, glad you asked. So in a new song, I'm gonna go to my template. The file that I got from my artist does not have a name. If we look in the files in the Finder, there's no name here. All we have is beat 13 and verse 1 and stuff. So for this, I know this is the 4th song that I'm working on. I'm gonna call this song 4. And I'm gonna save it in the collection, the folder, or the EP that I'm working on. I'm gonna take all of these and we're gonna just slide them in here. Bam. And then I've made some shortcut keys. I'm gonna hit this Option A to zoom out and then hit Z to fit the window. Now we can see all of these. Now these shortcut keys are not preset in PreSonus. These are just the ones that I like to use, and I customize them in the keyboard shortcuts menu. So first thing I notice a lot of times is the beat comes in as a left and right. This is only for people that have this issue. In Studio One, if you go to the browse section and you go to the pull, you will see the beat left and right, but you can't do nothing here at the pull. You'll need to go to files. Studio One is automatically going to populate the folder where you are working at, and I want to save this, copy my media into the file folder. So all of these audio files are being moved from that retransfer folder into my session. Now when I hit song 4, here's a media folder. I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna select beat 13 left and beat 13 right. I'm gonna right click and we're gonna hit merge to stereo file. Now that created a stereo version combining those left and right sounds. So the beat is now a stereo track. If you did not get that copy to external files window, go to your preferences. And then you want to click on your locations tab. Go to this checkbox down here. It says ask to copy external files when saving song. Make sure that is checked. Now that I have that set, I'm going to remove these tracks. I don't need the left and right. No reason when I have the stereo version. Bam, stereo version's here. Next thing I usually do is color code my stuff, especially the easy things like that is always as hot pink. I don't know why I've used that as a hot pink. Anything that has a hook uses this color blue. Anything that's a verse, lead, ad lib, all that good stuff gets this saturated blue. And all this other random stuff that don't really know what it is, random inserts and I don't know, just ear candy type stuff, gets that blue. And then bam, we got this ascension of blue and the B. I'm gonna flip over to the mix window here, and I'm going to send all of my vocals to my Voc bus. So all of them are going to the Voc bus, and I'm gonna send this to my music bus. And I will create a mix version. I'm gonna call this mix 1. And I have the incremental version box checked. So as I save, it's going to keep my current session open, but save it under a new name. So with this, I'll typically play the song, see where I'm at. Normally the beat is peaking and you'll see what I do next. So a lot of peak information. I see this hitting up all the way to 0. Cool. We're gonna drop everything at -12 dB. All the tracks, straight across the board. No hope. Now we're going to play the verse area, the hook, and see where the levels are at.
She can hear the passion all in my accent. Manifesting how we gonna be.
Okay, sounds pretty good. I'm then going to turn down all my faders of everything but the beat down 4 dB. Ask me why. Because when I want room to do any automation, it's very easy for Studio One to snap it at 0 dB, kind of like as a maximum. So that's why I drop it down 4 dB. Your mileage may vary. You may do 6 dB. Some people may do 12 dB. Some people may not do anything at all. But for me, it helps with the headroom. I then turn all of my vocals up to where they sound comfortable in the mix. And normally I'm doing this process in mono.
Be a magnet, this wave ain't for the average. This wave ain't by. Look, I captured it. Almost mastered it. I can lose some racks and make it. Just passing. Valentino tantrums. You behind the stanchion, you won't understand them. Digging expansions. She keep telling me set it up, talking extractions. Sexy distractions. Whole lot of money this way.
Okay, so the hook sounded fine to me. The verse needed to come up. And again, I'm ballparking right now because his verses are pretty much smaller than the recordings of the hooks. You can see this verse in the dub, another verse, one long verse. So the next thing I like to do is figure out what the BPM of the song is. And this, I'm just going to use Melodyne. So we're gonna save here. I'm gonna right click, edit with Melodyne. It's helpful to get the BPM of the track because you'll want to use delays that's time synced or tempo syncs and many other effects that BPM and timing becomes a part of the rhythm of the track, and you want that locked on. Over here, you're gonna see 94 BPM. That is my session tempo. What Melodyne is reading is 110 ppm, and if you wanted to get really specific, it tries to ballpark it due to the variations, but we don't need that. All we need to know is that whole number value, 110, because more than likely the producer did not produce this at 109.92. All right, so we're gonna exit out, and then I'm going to remove Melodyne from this because I don't need it. Just need it to detect the tempo. So 110 BPM. I'm going to highlight all the tracks. We're gonna go to the left in the info window and hit don't follow because I do not want the tracks to adjust to me changing the tempo. I just want the bars and beats to count at 110 BPM. And then from here, I can go in and adjust all of my ranges. So chorus, verse, there's no bridge, and we have a final chorus right here. We'll just rename this verse, and then I may pick a random color. It just helps when trying to locate the different areas. And then I'll go ahead and cut out basically what's not needed. We're more than likely gonna fade this out. So I'll just do a long fade here. We'll get rid of all of this. Instead of going in and strip silencing it, I'm just gonna highlight this area because nothing here, there's nothing on these tracks. It's a bunch of dead silence. And we'll just double click that, bam, just get rid of it. This is very blocky compared to other sessions. So just get rid of all of this dead space. Just get rid of it, don't need it. If it's zoomed up this high and you don't see any audio, you don't need it. All right, so we have the session for now. The next part is combining areas that don't need to be separated. That's a big thing. Let's zoom back out. Clearly we have a verse section, a double here, and another verse section. If you look at the file name, we got verse first half and then double. Verse second half, and clearly that's another double. So we're gonna have one verse track and then we're gonna have a double track. I'm gonna designate one of these to be that verse track. And because I know the artist name, it's gonna be Charlie. I like to name the verses after my singers. If I don't know the artist, I'll usually just say lead. And we're going to minimize this because we're going to just put this right up top. We'll make this one the double. I'm gonna call this just D1 for short, double one. And then all the doubles are gonna follow this. Because we do not need 3 tracks in order to operate with this song. So we'll do that, and then we'll do that. Now, what about this? Let's solo this.
Yeah.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll create an ad-lib tray. Bam. That solves that problem. So we'll treat that as an ad-lib. Now the verses are done, we can get rid of the rest of these. Same thing with the hooks. So clearly these go together right here. Same thing with this. We can remove track. We'll put this up here, and this is a hook double. So we'll just put a hook 1, and we'll put hook double. And then we got ad-lib doubles, ad-lib triples, and ad-lib. So HL1, hook ad-lib 1, hook ad-lib 2, hook ad-lib 3. Just like that. And we have this small little intro audio. So that's what I mean, those extra sounds, that's gonna be an O. In context, need to make that a little bit louder. Bam. We now have the raw starting point of this session with no extra files, information, audio. And from here will be step 2 of creating and finishing your session. Thanks for watching this video. Really, guys, thank you for everything that you're doing. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. If you like me, please like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, I'm going to be here to give you more information, tips, and anything that I learned to give back to you in your journey for mixing and mastering. All right, that's it for this video. Take care and be prepared for the next one. Deuces, people.